Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. If you're new to this channel, I am a channeler. I channel archangels, gods and goddesses, ascended masters, extraterrestrials. Um, and I do what I can to bring those messages forward to all of you because the messages that they bring forward are full of love and full of encouragement. And so they can really benefit each of us in our own distinct ways. Um, what I want to start off with before I get into the message, so I'm actually doing a message from Egyptian goddess Isis, and she's talking about dragons. So before I get into that, I want to announce the winners. We have two winners, if you will, or recipients from two different generous donors who donated these free services to be made available to this YouTube group. So let me go ahead and actually pull up the names so I have them. Okay, for the Black Magic Clearing and Protection Service, the winner is, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, Jonah Neij, Neij 240. I'm going to write this in the description in case you're not sure what I'm saying. But Jonna, or maybe it's John. I'm not sure. Anyways, you are the winner. Congratulations. Please feel free to go to our website at orangelightenergy.com and reach out on our contact form. I believe it says request an appointment. Click on one of those buttons under any of our services and reach out to us and let us know that you're ready, and we will get you scheduled for that. We have one more winner of one more service, and it's Kristen Jorkis 3511. She has won the Ancestral Healing. So please reach out to us, Kristen, and we'll take care of you as well. So those are Metatron's two winners that he picked out. Let me pull up my interaction with Isis. So Isis is really, just so you know, Isis is really sassy with me all the time. And she enjoys it because I'm like, you know, I always tell Susan, I always tell Susan that I know I upset Isis. This is like, I don't know if this is like past lifetime or in between lifetimes, but Isis is fiery with me. So I was told she had a message for me. So I was like, oh, cool. Maybe she's not mad at me anymore. And so I got this sense. I got this like, it's hard to explain. I guess just like a knowing. It's almost like at some point the extrasensory perceptions start blurring. And so it's almost like I partially saw it and I partially knew it, is what it felt like. But I sensed dragon energy. And so I asked her, I said, are you going to talk about dragons? And she said, no. And I was like, oh, okay. So, like, okay. So so she gives me a vision. I see a woman at night who's outside. She's just like walking slowly forward. I can see her from behind. She's walking slowly forward into this water, into like a lake. And so as she's walking forward, she's getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the water until she goes completely under. And then I suddenly get the view of her under the water. She can breathe. It's quiet and dark. I see her swimming slowly. And it was almost like really graceful, really almost like slow motion swimming. Like it looked really smooth, just really relaxing, if you can kind of get that energy in your mind. This is the void. This is the space of nothingness. And so as soon as Isis is telling me these things, she says, this is the void, this is the space of nothingness. Well, I knew from that we were talking about dragons. And I'll tell you how in a second. But I just looked at her and I was like, you said we weren't going to talk about dragons. Like, you just said this. And she's just like winks at me. I'm like, all right. So I had a client recently who had this dragon come forward for them as one of their guides. And so this is how I knew about this dragon as being, as soon as she talks about the void and the nothingness. So now let me tell you about this dragon. This is what Isis says. In the void, there is peace because there is no ego, no thoughts, no worries, no fears. In this peaceful space of existence, there is only right now, no tomorrow, no yesterday. This is the 0 point. There is infinite possibility here. This is a womb, a place where something, anything, can grow. There is no time here. Everything is suspended blissfully. This place exists in space also. No, this space exists in space, but also within each soul. This is where transcendental meditators go to be still, without fear, without worries or thoughts or ego. What could you do? If you could peel away all the things that aren't really you at all, this is what would be left. A soul observing, experiencing in total peace. There is a crystalline dragon that is so dark burgundy that she is almost black. This is the Black Dahlia dragon. She carries and protects the energy of the void, the energy of 0 and infinite possibilities. When you need peace, when you need help to not overthink, when you need help rejecting the fears of the ego, this is the dragon you can call in. Jennifer, I asked the dragon to come forward. She has like Chinese whiskers, which I like, I don't know why, but when dragons have like those like Chinese dragon whiskers, I just love it. It's like makes them cute or something. This is an air dragon. I always see them with dragon whiskers. Her eyes are greenish yellow. She lays down, and I see myself lay next to her, between her body and her tail, which she has wrapped around her. So she's almost like laying down like a cat with the tail wrapped around, and I'm in between her body and her tail. This is a place of rest. When I ask to feel her energy, it feels like I'm in a huge open space, but it's just me. I'm the only one there for miles and miles, floating. It's the feeling of empty surroundings, but comfort. So back to Isis. This is what she says. Dragon energy is primordial. It is an energy created before there were planets. They are in your DNA. One of the strands of human DNA is from the dragons. Pause. One of the etheric strands of DNA, one of the 24 strands, not like one of the 2 strands. Sorry, back to the message. They are part of each of you. Denying them is denying a part of yourself. Dragons can teach you about power, magic, loyalty. When they have incarnated on Sorry, I cannot talk today. When they have incarnated on other planets, they were loyal companions. But a dragon knows its value. If you try to control it, or try to own it, try to restrict it, It will leave and not return in that lifetime. They do not hold grudges, but rather they place their own well-being first, and they will not apologize for protecting and loving themselves before all others. How many of you would benefit from embodying dragon energy? How many of you place yourself first? How many of you know your full value? How many of you are comfortable being powerful? You lack these things because dragon energy has been mostly absent from your society. You can change this. You all have the power to call in dragon energy and dragon guides. Working with a dragon will change the landscape of your soul. It will bring forward parts of you that have been suppressed. To be whole, you must acknowledge your power, your worth, and your magic. This year of the dragon is calling you into your power. This is a year calling you into action, calling you to move forward in new ways outside of your comfort zone. The year of the dragon calls you into magic, creation, building, investing, planting. The dragons will be bringing their energies to Earth to help each of you with manifesting, building, and creating. But you must be the one to take action towards these goals. Your energy is needed just as much as theirs. You carry immense power in a body. The soul is naturally powerful, but you can only influence the physical world at the highest levels while incarnated. Combining a soul with a body adds power. Dragons are willing to work with anyone seeking a partnership. They know their energy is meant to be part of the earth. They are invested in the success of Earth and humanity. They have waited for the time when they could rejoin us. They have enjoyed working with many of us in the past. They never forget the souls they have loved. They love you still. They are waiting to be invited back into your life. They are ready to create with you. They are ready to protect you. They are ready to heal you. They are ready to remind you of your power. So this is the end of Isis's message. So Black Dahlia Dragon, if you're interested in accessing a transcendental place of peace and possibility, it's kind of a trip. It's not the energy that we're used to in the Western world. I think if you are uh, really dedicated in your meditation, you might be someone who accesses this space. But for me being someone who does, when I meditate, I've always done it with the purpose of trying to have a vision. So I'm always trying to vibrate to like a certain frequency in that way. Um, so I'm like looking for action when I go meditating. To access this space while meditating, this is trying to sink deep within the earth, deep within the ocean, deep within yourself. This is more of a dropping down sensation, and yet still into a high vibrational space. It just serves a different purpose. You have to keep in mind which is mind-blowing, but you have to keep in mind that the dimensions, as they go higher, start kind of bending back on themselves. So you can actually descend down. Make sure I'm saying, is this correct? Yeah. You can descend down, and can you, let me see if he'll tell me what it is. Is it? Okay. If I'm hearing him correctly, this 0 point space is the 22nd dimension, if I'm hearing him correctly. And so you can drop down, and even though you in your mind are like, oh no, I'm going lower, I'm going into like the astral realm, if you go past that, you should hit higher dimensions because of the way our world is kind of twisted on itself. Um, okay, so that's the end of the message. Wanted to let all of you know, I posted this in my community forum, but I know not everyone is able to see it or pays attention to it. Wanted to let everyone know that Susan and I did an interview recently with a psychic medium, evidential psychic medium, Jeffrey Peck. He is a wonderful human being. He's got the most amazing energetic personality. You basically cannot listen to him without smiling. Um, and so Susan and I were lucky enough to do an interview with him where he interviewed us. And so that is available now on YouTube. I'm going to link it in this video. I know many of you have already watched it. I'm going to link it for those who haven't watched it. Or if you haven't gone over there to like and leave a comment, please feel free to do so. We like seeing everyone engage with these joint projects because they're very meaningful for all groups involved. So Susan and I talk a little bit in that interview about our spiritual journey and how we kind of started out. It's truly impossible for Susan and I to really go into any level of depth about what happened to us um, that truly paved the pathway for her and I to go from complete strangers to business partners in like, I don't know, 3 months or something. And this is all like not even on the phone or in person. This is like texting, which is like an extra level of why? How is this possible? Um, it's just we've had a really intense adventure during those 3 months as it was meant to be in order to give us what we needed to know that we were supposed to be heading down a pathway together. And so one day maybe it actually might become a book because so much happened, and Metatron would tell us record record your conversations, like save these because we would text back and forth, save these conversations, he would tell us, and so they're all saved somewhere. So if we ever have a lot of time, that'll be a book because that was crazy adventure. He's saying yes. I always joke about it because I feel like the first 3 months that I was talking to Susan, each day I felt like I lived like a lifetime each day because so much would happen that would never happen to anyone in their entire lifetime. So every day was like a miracle. Every day was like magic. Every day was literally a crazy adventure. Um, so anyhow, so we talked super briefly about this during that interview. So if you're interested, click on the link, give us a like, give us a comment under his video, and that would be awesome. What else? What else? I feel like I have something else. What else did you want me to do? No, really, I can't tell what you want me to do. Oh, duh. Sorry, guys. This is literally my brain is like not here. I'm like recovering from a cold because my kids always bring home colds, and so my head is like not quite here. But Metatron is like on the game, so he's like, "You forgot to." So what I forgot to tell you about. Okay, so Jeffrey Peck I'm going to put his website in the links. He's an evidential medium. What this means is that if you are interested in connecting with one of your loved ones who has passed over, he is an excellent individual to set up a session with if you would like to make that connection again and have messages come through. That is his specialty. That is his big, huge, major gift. So that's what Metatron. That's right. Oh my gosh. Seriously, it's unbelievable the things that can like slip through my mind. Is that everything? Okay, that is everything. He's happy. I love you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been posting like videos as often. It's been kind of like a really crazy 2 weeks. And I'm sure all of you have kind of been feeling this as well. It just feels like there's a lot of trauma processing going on. There's a lot of like illnesses popping up. There's been like spiritual attacks that have been going on. I think I had like some kind of spiritual attack five five nights in a row. 5 nights in a row. That's crazy. Um Last night I didn't, so I think we're done. But it's just sometimes it's just the cycle of things where things are just kind of coming through that way. So I feel like let me just tune into February's energy. Let me see if he'll let me. Just for fun. Will you let me? Because we're practically in February anyways. Okay. If I had to give like a brief synopsis of February energy, help me out. What would it feel like? Mm, is this like soul? Okay, so when I feel into it, honestly, I feel anticipation, which in a human body feels almost like anxiety. It's not really anxiety, but it's like you're waiting for something. So that makes me feel like March. March is going to bring in a new kind of energy starting in March. But February, I think, is going to be kind of a continuation, yeah, of January energy. So we're still going to be probably processing things. I'll do a proper video on this soon. My next video for all of you is going to be a Lightworker gateway. It's going to be crazy. I've already I think I've gotten most, not all, most of the messages for that. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. And so that video is coming up, Lightworker Gateway. Then we're going to do February energy updates. So the two big videos are coming really soon. Um, oh, Metatron didn't say this, but um, I'm just tuning into him. Should I say something? He's like, yes. Um, for the, I'm just gonna tell you guys about this. So in the Patreon group, the Patreon community that Susan and I have, there was this really awesome message that came through recently. Sorry, I'm like asking him, should I read it? No. Okay. There's a really awesome message that came through recently. So I want to kind of share the gist of that message with you. The gist of that message, because we had several people join recently. And so he gave me a message kind of addressing some of those newer individuals, but also still addressing all the individuals who've been there since the beginning. But the message was really talking about being courageous, moving towards connection and love, not letting fear hold you back, not letting comparisons hold you back, not judging yourself about where you are on your journey in a way that you don't feel worthy to move forward. Because I had a lot of people join who said something to the effect of, I wanted to join, but I hesitated, but I didn't because something to the effect of, I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was ready. I didn't think I was whatever. You don't need a certain skill set to benefit other light workers, for other light workers to benefit you, um, for you to be able to do work for the planet or whatever the case may be. There's no skill set, there's no prerequisites involved in joining this Patreon community. What Metatron, he's talking, he's like, oh, yes, there is. What Metatron is looking for, he's trying to call in those who are willing, because that is your power. Because all of us have the same capacity for the same amount of power. We have the same capacity for the same amount of psychic gifts. What differentiates us all is our willingness, how we are willing to use our personal power. Not necessarily using gifts, but it's like, are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to try? Are you willing to show up? Would those things make you happy? Okay. Is that what you want? Okay. I feel like he's like right in my ear. Right in my ear, whispering in my ear. Probably because I'm not listening very well right now. So I'll put a link in here as well. So if you're interested in checking out the community, there's only one tier. There's only one option. It's one paid option if you're interested. And there's like I think you can join as like a free member, but if you do, you're not gonna. There's nothing to see that way. But if you come on into the group, you can see all the past postings, so you can see everything that's happened before you showed up. You can see any meeting that took place was recorded. It's all of videos on there. We have pictures on there of stuff. We have transcripts of things. We posted 2 new videos this week. I have another one that I will post probably tomorrow or the day after that. We were doing work with the earth. We're going to be doing some work with, I think, the earth and the moon. So it's kind of exciting. So if you're just in a place where you want to join up with other people who are like you and you are excited by the thought of, I don't know, exploring, trying out some new things. It's new for me. I haven't done this stuff before. So it's a learning process. It's an adventure. If you're interested in starting to play around with these things while being guided by mostly Metatron and Ra, we've had Isis and we've had other guides come forward, but mostly Metatron and Ra are running the show. If you're interested, come on over. We'll have some fun together. Okay, this is the end of my video, I swear. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.